Certain of our physical characteristics, he observed, are not explicable on the theory of variation and survival of the fittest. These include the human brain, the organs of speech and articulation, the human hand, and the external human form with its upright posture and bipedal gait. It is only human beings who can rotate their thumb and ring finger in what is called a ulnar position in order to achieve a grip, a grasp, and a degree of torque denied any of the great apes. No other item on Wallace's list has been ticked off against real understanding in evolutionary thought. What remains is fantasy of sort in which the bipedal gait is assigned to an unrecoverable ancestor wishing to peer or pee over tall savannah grasses. The argument that Wallace made with respect to the human body, he made again with respect to the human mind. There it gathers force. We do not understand why alone among the animals human beings have acquired language, or a refined and delicate moral system, or art, architecture, music, dance, or mathematics. This is a severely abbreviated list. The body of Western literature and philosophy is an extended commentary on human nature, and over the course of more than 4,000 years, it has not exhausted its mysteries. You could not discover the limits of the soul, Heraclitus wrote, not even if you travel down every road. Such is the depth of its form. Yet there is no evident distinction, Wallace observed, between the mental powers of the most primitive human being and the most advanced. Raised in England instead of the Ecuadorian Amazon, a native child of the headhunting Jivaro, destined otherwise for a life spent lopping through the jungle, would learn to speak perfect English and would, upon graduation from Oxford or Cambridge, have the double advantage of a modern intellectual worldview and a commercially valuable ethnic heritage. He might become a mathematician. He would understand the prevailing moral and social codes perfectly. And all anyone knows or could tell, he might find himself a BBC commentator explaining lucidly the cultural significance of headhunting and arguing for its protection. From this follows, Wallace argued, the characteristic human abilities must be latent in primitive man, existing somehow as an unopened gift, the entryway to a world that primitive man does not possess and would not recognize. But the idea that a biological species might possess latent powers makes no sense in Darwinian terms. It suggests that forbidden doctrine, the evolutionary advantages were front-loaded far away and long ago. It is in conflict with the Darwinian principle that useless genes are subject to negative selection, pressure, and must therefore find themselves draining away into the sands of time. Wallace identified a frank conflict between his own theory and what seemed to him obvious facts about the solidity and unchangeability of human nature. The conflict persists. It has not been resolved.